Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm still trying to get my information about living with bile acid malabsorption updated and ready to put on social media because there isn't enough information, in my opinion, out there about it, and especially how people kind of live with a condition. Now, the problem I'm having this morning is I've woken up and I've been to the bathroom, which everybody does. That's part of being alive. But because I've basically been sat in the bathroom for a long period of time, um, and the problem I've got now is I get severe pins and needles in my legs. I never used to have this before. I used to be a life model, and standing on in fixed positions for long periods of time was something I used to do on a daily basis, sometimes 8 hours a day with an hour for lunch and two 15-minute breaks. I'm finally getting some feeling back in my legs, but when I tried to stand up I physically could not stand up because of the pain I was in. My feet, they just literally almost gave from under me. I almost literally collapsed onto the floor. Let me see if I can stand now without screaming in agony. Yeah, oh, God, that is such a relief. Just prior to that, I was literally screaming because it hurt so much. I bet sometimes my neighbours were wondering what the hell's going on in my house. But I have tried to explain to them that, I have a health problem, and sometimes the pain that I get in my limbs is so severe that it feels, if you're a woman, it feels like labour pains, or really bad period pains. And people have said, oh, you don't get period pains in your legs. And it's like, oh, trust me, you can. Um, I get cramp, I get numbness. It's not as bad as it used to be now that I'm almost at near the menopause age. So my body has changed again. But since being diagnosed with bile acid malabsorption, it has helped to explain a lot of the symptoms that I've lived with for literally from the age of, say, 16 onwards. So I'm just literally trying to get the feeling back in my feet. And I have to do this about 3, maybe 4 times a day, because even with taking the medication I've been prescribed by my GP, depending on how long I am in the bathroom for, depends on the severity of the cramp and the sort of spasm, so to speak, that I get in my lower, literally below the kneecap. So hopefully now I should be able to walk without falling over. But I can literally feel the pain under my going through my calves and up to my lower back. So if this just keeps being persistent, I will have to have another chat with my GP about it. But as far as I'm aware, there isn't really anything they can do for me. But again, I just thought, because I'm not got the children at the moment, they've spent their night with their dad. It's their monthly spend the night with daddy day. Because the reason I'm mentioning this, and people are probably thinking why, is because one of the excuses the Department of Work and Pensions gave to not want to give me disability living allowance was they were saying, well, if I'm a disabled adult, or how can I then look after a disabled child? And it's like, what? How can you use that as an excuse to basically refuse somebody disability living allowance? I mean, I know I have friends who are disabled, and yet they have children. Whether they claim benefits or not, that's got nothing to do with me. It's none of my business. I know people who take their children to school in wheelchairs or on crutches, or who are blind or partially sighted, should I say, or have a hearing impediment. And yet, I'm pretty sure if they are entitled to claim this benefit, why shouldn't they? But to say that disabled people can't claim benefits because a disabled person can't look after a child who's disabled, it's like, really? People have been looking after kids ever since, if you believe Adam and Eve's story. You know, it's just sometimes, depending on the severity of a disability or how it affects you on a daily basis, you need support. And the only way you can get that is through financial aid. If you are in my situation where you are unable to work, or with my disabled son, I'm his full-time carer. But that doesn't mean that he can't go and visit his dad once a month to give me a day where I can, you know, give myself a bit of TLC. Because I think the other thing that people tend to forget is that, you know, when you are looking after other people, you do not look after yourself as much. And, you know, when people turn around and say, oh my God, you look awful, you know, like, and it's like, well, okay, well, once a month I won't look awful. I will physically take the time to, you know, take more care and attention and self-maintenance, so to speak. And you can't, every parent would tell you that you can't do that when you've got children constantly shouting, Mummy, Daddy, I need you. So every parent, if they have the opportunity, needs to have that me time, even if it is only for 5 minutes a day. So I'm going to stop waffling now. I'm a pain for waffling. So thank you very much. And like I said, I think this is about 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and now the pain has actually stopped. Thank you.